Hi-oh, beaver! Away!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Critscast and welcome to a very speedy run of our invite group 1 because we've got a lot of time to get through. There's no time for introductions, Beta. This is the introduction right here. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. Let's get into this game. We are in round 1. You know, good news and bad news. Bad news is they started already. Good news, they haven't played very much, and also the tournament is on time, I guess.
Yep.
So that's good.
Anything to push it on time. If you're wondering who the hell are we covering right now, it's Ora Elektro versus Fivefinger Vibram or Vibram Five Fingers. I'm not entirely sure. I just call them the Yak team. So they're going to be playing on Gully Wash. This is obviously round 1. This is the only map they will be playing, and they'll be playing for points to see who can get the best slot going into their invite round, past the round robin stage. Anyway. Tensions aside, the points have been laid out, and the point is being capped right now, Beta.
Yeah, blink and you miss it. There's 2 players on the point right there. Just snuck on them, up on them, and there was a soldier and a scout on the point. Soldier was able to bounce players away, and the scout just capped it out easily. And that's going to be 1-0 for Ora Elektro just immediately going into this. That is, that's always the danger with Gully Wash. And you just always see the good teams are able to put on so much pressure in Riverside that they can just do so many things here. But yeah, we've got another mid. It's 1-0.
Yeah, it's quite alright. We'll call that a warm-up round as we are going for the kind of warm reception here on this mid fight. Everybody's kind of throwing their lives immediately. Nobody's feeling out these mids. They're just entering the blender, and the blue side is looking a bit more blended than the red side. I don't even see a med pick coming out. Jorge might be able to get out, and that would be like the kind of silver lining in this mid fight, and he looks like he will with his buddy Yak. So they're going to be defending on last. They're trying to maybe even rotate Riverside and get that set up before they push in, but they've already pushed in, Beta. This is Gully Wash, I remind you. You can skip that second and go straight to last.
Yeah, they're being so aggressive up top, and at the same time they're being pressured down through main, basically. And if they're not careful, they're just going to get cut off. And it looks like they are going to eventually decide to go back. But a very aggressive just posturing going on here for the Yak team. And eventually they're going to go back to the last. They have a even Uber here, so no big deal. They have a sentry gun being protected by a pyro, just being built up as much as possible. Not us trying.
He's trying. He is trying. He's not succeeding, but he's trying. A college try. But Nutshouse, he knows what's on the line. He's got 540 smackaroos already in his head, thinking about that first place prize.
Yeah, we got a soldier and scout on the point again. This is so annoying. And they actually pop out the Uber. They force out the Uber just from the point pressure. That's insane. Like, you almost never see this. Usually popping the Uber on this kind of thing is just so bad. But now we can see why. Because now they're just Ubering with the scout. The scout immediately takes down the demo man, and it's just pressure on the point right now. Actually, in secret. Somehow it's all crumpled.
Yeah, it was looking mighty close for a second there. I thought it was going to be a bad news bears on that last point because Loopy stepped off for half a second and a medic unconsciously blocked it by just walking backwards onto it during another little skirmish. So maybe the stars are aligning for Yak and his boys. They're ready to push in now. They have got a bit of an overcharge advantage brewing, but it's not quite ready yet. And Joseph, he's almost caught in no man's land in this little death pit area on his own. Already Eskimo's been picked off. Another teammate has been picked off on the flank as well for Jorge and squad. And I'm not even sure they can really make use of this full Uber advantage, even if they pop it off now. Juxta has his Uber as well, cooking away. Dare I say he's been taken out just as quickly.
Oh my God.
The Uber has actually played off really well. Nuthouse really showing just a keen effort with that Uber there. It could have gone much worse there, Vita.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was looking pretty dire, but just a single pick going in the favor of Yak's team is going to just turn it around quite a bit, and then the Uber just really altered the tides of that whole battle there. So now all of a sudden it's Ora Elektro just sitting back here on last. And now they're going to have to contend with this Uber advantage. It's about 85% of Jorge right now. You know he's counting Uber. He's a very good medic. It looks like they're going to go into Riverside with this. And there's a single soldier in water, and there's a pyro and a sentry gun to deal with.
Yeah, a lot on their plate that they have to clean up here. First, order of business, take out the sentry gun. Alright, now try to lock down one of those doors, and yeah, he wants to, but the Pyro won't let him. They're going to play the point instead, and you can see that Demo Man in like point pressure combo laying waste. Oh, the heavy weapons guy has just managed to weasel his way onto the point, but there's just too many bodies being thrown at it, and it looks like we do have a game here, Beta.
Indeed we do. Nuthouse coming in there from the water, just cleaning up whoever was on the point. They're all weak because they're just being spammed so heavily there. And it just goes to show that just the key to capturing this last point on Garlos is just the point pressure going in there. And like they didn't do a stellar job of like killing off all the important players or the medic or whatever, but they just got
oh my god, Dr. Yak, please come to the operating table. He just you know, cut out the medic there so surgically, so expertly, and that kind of laid waste.
Immediately to just retaliate to take down the other medic. So Jorge is also down, but yeah, definitely Yak's team doing better because they lost their medics much later.
I've never seen such pinpoint precision stickies at the start of a mid there, and it must have been like the perfect heavenly stickies to get out that. Eames looks like he wants to actually stay in and go for some cheeky sort of sting. You know when you throw those stickies up in the air, you kind of sync them up at the same time. Sometimes you can catch people pushing at the right time and get a lot of damage in a blind second, but they aren't pushing. They want to play it cool. Keep in mind, like you said, they lost their medic.
Yeah, so they're just going to sit back here. I don't think any of them went crits. I don't see it, at least. No, they didn't. Alright, so we're just going to be sitting back here. Usually in these situations you see a lot of play in big door. Maybe you try to send in a scout behind. Maybe you try to send a soldier behind. Maybe you just like threaten to jump in from both big door and choke. And one of them is eventually going to succeed and you can get in onto the medic and force him. That's usually the plan going in overall. But we'll see how they do this. And just go out.
Yeah, he goes against the grain. He doesn't want to go big door. He wants to go through choke, and he actually almost had it there. Had a
Ron's in already.
Yeah, gone through drop down. Has some nice damage, but not really concentrated damage on that medic that they were hoping for. And everybody's just kind of bleeding all over the place here. It's a bit strange to see coming out from Eames and company, but they're going to make a push for a choke, and Eames wants to hold. He really wants to hold. They actually pop off the Uber later, so they could come out of this fortunately if Eames manages to hold on to this choke with all his might. The respawners are coming in, but they need time. They need more time for Eames to hold and lock down this thing. Hold the door, as Nuthouse will get cleaned up on that flank, and the door has been held. It looks like they want to do some holding on their own over on Fivefingers.
They just want to hold this choke at all costs.
Oh look at that.
God. Baited into the sticky trap, just taken down. Even gets a third one, even just getting pulled. And now, yeah, he smells blood. Gonna just jump the medic and the combo. Everyone's going down. Just gonna be as soon as on last, trying to see if he can hold it against the world here, but it is a tall task to ask even for Azunis.
Yeah, he's doing quite an admirable job launching that one soldier away. His respawners have come up now. They're focusing the medic, but that's not the target you want to focus on, Visa. When people are crawling all over your point, it's 2-1.
Indeed, and that was it was a really dicey situation for Yak's team there, just because they were holding a choke and they were like 2 men down. But then that sticky trap, man, just did so much work, and it was very aggressive positioning from the soldier as well. And choke, like really confident, which means that once that started working out, it really worked out.
Azunis, he looked like he was going for the big boy bomb, but cuts it short, tries to wrap round to choke instead. Will get cleaned up quickly. Oh my, was that an air shot or was that a stolen kill from Loopy?
That was stolen.
It was stolen. No frag video for you, but they can maybe still hold the pieces here over on Eames and Ora Elektro. They will. They just hold off the point there. I don't think they can chase, however. They're going to just be settled and happy with mid and maybe slow push it in from choke now.
Yeah, they're trying to see if they can get second here, but that is going to be pretty dicey. They're about 4 on 3 going in here, but it looks like they have actually managed to push them all the way out, and if they can just contain this door, they're in a pretty good spot. But I think these are just all out of stickies right now, so it can't really sticky off the door properly, but eventually it is just going to be enough here. Everyone else just going to go back. Eskimo is going to be the last man back on last, but it is going to be even Ubers So we could be settling in here for probably some more water plays. Those have been really effective so far. Just the double man into water, so the scout and the soldier going in there for Ora Elektro.
Oh, Yak sees it
Red
coming.
like
He's
it,
like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. He will not have it happen again, and gets this free scout for his troubles. So this is usually the license that the Roma takes to start jumping in here. So keep an eye on Eskimo, keep an eye on T-Ram. Maybe we'll see a bomb coming out.
Yeah, T-Ram is not looking like he wants to go in. He's in a very passive holding position right now, and we actually have a shotgun going on here. I mean,
in
that makes sense when you're
2021.
holding. Yeah, I know. But it makes sense when you're holding last. I'm a pretty big fan of changing up your loadout just depending on what your current point is, because you want your loadout to fit your current situation, and then if it doesn't fit the future situation as much, I think that's a smaller concern than the present, right? That's the theory.
Speaking of concerns, the sentry gun's been spammed out, so plays have been opened up for Ora Elektro. They could try and get some scouts sneaking past it. Look, they're trying to deactivate those stickies that got them last time, and they've managed it. Nevo's in. He's underwater. Sort of.
Indeed.
And he's trying to play the point now, but actually might take this 1v1 against T-Ram, and he actually wins it! 8 HP warrior, but he's stuck. Saving Private Nevo. Oh, he gets the crossbow. He's going back in. He's going back in.
And this is so good because, see, now he put pressure on the point, and now you can jump in a soldier onto the medic like this, and there you get Uber Force. Really clinical play. Very well done.
Nuthouse, he wanted to chase Eames out through that riverside, but knows better. Can't really keep chasing, and I don't see why they have to dedicate an Uber to block the point there. I mean, it's not like you super block it, I suppose, with the Uber charge.
I think he popped because Asunas was in on him.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah, he saw it and Asunas just got out. Like, no one was shooting at him at all. So as soon as he got out, and he had like 180 health or something. It was very, very clean. Like, he got in so free.
Brace yourselves, Beta. We're going in. Uber charge has been popped. Eames has already got stickies on point and the left-hand door, keeping things on lockdown. They just need to start kind of collapsing some people onto it. But they're actually taking a lot longer than I suspected. All 2-2. Dare I buy my words?
Indeed. That was just basically all off of the pressure that Nevo did on point there. So I think we can give him that little cap, feather in his cap for Nevo. You got that one, round MVP. And then as soon as got the full force and then the clean push in onto that. Well, clean-ish. It wasn't close.
It was a clean plan, I'll give it that, but sloppy execution. Oh, Nevo cleaned up so quickly before we could finish our little quips as they're trying to push across the point over on Five Fingers, and they've got a much better foothold of this mid already, and you can tell Ora Elektro agree, they're backing out.
Yeah, losing that scout that early kind of spelled disaster for them. I was looking at the Zoo soldiers, they were just jumping in sync, but they were just jumping around trying not to die basically the entire mid. So the soldiers did very little on the side of Ora Elektro. So now they're going to be actually at a disadvantage. They shouldn't realize this here on Yak's team, really. They have about a 15 to 20% advantage, but you wouldn't expect that because you started healing at the same time when the round started. So you don't expect to have you with that right there. But Joktan not really building too well. That might be a theme that can come in later to see. But we've got another Pyro trying to defend. Well, the Sentinel isn't quite near the Pyro right now, but presumably that's going to be a thing. Eskimo tried to go in, and he's going to die.
I feel like all the soldiers feel a little bit worried now having to play that water. It's a big responsibility. Usually the cards are snacked, on your side. You're in a tiny little enclosed area, but these scouts, man, they eat the Weetabix for breakfast, and they can meat shot two shots, and that soldier's dead.
Yeah, it's surprisingly even fights down in that water area. It really is surprising to me just how well a scout can actually fight a soldier down there, as long as he has a buff, really. Like, obviously soldiers, you can shoot both the floor and the ceiling, so that makes it a lot easier. You can't get bounced around the same way as a scout and, shoot them before you hit the ground. Yeah. Obviously.
That's a lot of clout. Oh my, speaking of clout, Nuthouse coming in and getting a nice headshot onto Zunis. He only peeked for 1 second as well, and 1 second is all needed. They're Ubering in, they're trying to take out the sentry gun, but they actually counter Uber really early over on Juxta and Eames and company, but they don't really have the time to weasel out more damage in that door. They back out before it finishes, and probably the wise decision.
Yeah, pretty interesting decision to just get Ubers out of the way. when you have this sniper. So now the sniper cannot drop the medic, I guess. But I mean, as long as you kill the medic, you're fine. But yeah, they had the one pick, and they just decided to push opposite.
House. He just needs to find one player. Are they throwing flare guns at the boy? Very rude, says Nuthouse. But the first soul that hits this line will die, and oh no, can't even do that. Azunis is just juggling him up in the air. So it's all faith on Nuthouse, it seems, and he has impressed so far, but it's just such a hard corner to peek around. You see a lot of hero shots here, and to be a hero, he has to die.
I mean, there's a reason why you always see hero shots. That's because Gollywatch is actually pretty bad to snipe on, unless you like really extend in and kind of have to hit that really clutch shot. There's a bunch of good places to do like very quick peeks. So you can peek in very quickly on balcony, and you can peek very quickly in water, where you jump on top of the little shutter door. But you're not going to stay there for very long before dying. So you basically have like one shot, and then you need to get out or die immediately. So yeah, that lends itself to hero shots a whole lot. I'd actually love to see a soldier going into water just to kind of divide the pressure up.
I think you see them kind of baiting some shots. Maybe if they, some of the soldiers on Eskimo and T-Ram take a bit more shots, less shots on Nuthouse, but I don't think that's going to work. And Azunis, he's had enough. He wants to get proactive with his defense. The best defense is a good offense, and oh my, offense runs right on top of Nuthouse, so they can breathe just for a minute or so now, Beta, because that sniper's been taken care of.
Yeah, they sniffed out where he was coming from very quickly. He even got flared before he got taken down by the soldier. So very good question. Once again, he's going to push off of the pick on themselves.
Okay, 5-head gameplay. They're trying to get these doorways locked down. There's so much Uber left for them to work with, and they weasel out of it, Beta. In some strange alter universe, this pick on themselves has worked.
Yeah, that was very weird. I mean, you weren't expecting it. You just had a scout run onto the point, basically, because Ora Elektro were not expecting a push, because it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to push in that situation, because it was very unprovoked. It's not like they got forced and then they just had to push onto it, right?
Yeah, and they've got a sentry gun as well. It's not like you're going to shock the robot, are you? He's just going to hit, see them coming in and start blasting, but they make it work. Can't argue with results, and we're back to well, not even a piece. Back to an Uber that they could push in here. I don't know why they're taking so long to go with it, but the time is ticking. I guess they just want to pick on themselves again.
Yeah, they're just kind of going by opposite logic, I suppose. They should know the Uber situation perfectly. I guess they don't. Loopy goes down. He was in water, and I think they just forgot they had an Uber ad. I'm pretty sure. It's like why wouldn't you push on it? You saw when they popped.
Well, okay, fair enough. So we're back to even, but in the eyes of
is it just
the
a
five
Dr.
fingers
build?
Maybe, perhaps. Who knows? We have a spy. He's actually cloaking in. I see that thing ticking down. He's gonna have to get past bodyguard Joseph though, and he manages to not quite get past, but he's got his eyes on him.
Yeah, Loopy's sniping in main, and main is usually a pretty good place to get a pick on like either a soldier, demoman, or someone else. But
it's also pretty easy to get a sniper pick as well, literally. As Azunis got his way in behind, goes for the backstab onto T-Ram. He was T-Ram for all of half a second before he gets cleaned up, and they're going to Uber in. Well, so one-man pickers are good enough that they're going to take out the sentry gun, rush for the point. Demoman's being pressured. That's Eames taken out. Massive pick for them, and now you expect them to see them barreling in. Now the soldier's doing a good job of actually juggling and making this Pyro's life a misery. But the sword is coming out. There can only be one. Loopy, it's all hands on deck on this point. Soldier is desperately trying to shoot the ground, firing more rockets, pushing them off the point. Don't cap this right now. And the reinforcements are slowly coming in. Another one has died for the cause of Jorge, and he will get out, but will he have anybody to heal? Yes, Nuthouse is coming to heal him now.
That was so close. Like, as soon as just desperately fighting against this guy. I think he was on 20 HP throughout the entire fight, basically, just being constantly healed by Juxta. And just the scout just needs to hit a bit more of his shots, and that would have been a cap coming in here. And again, they just pushed off of a pick on their own team. It's just kind of working. don't know what this opposite day logic is, man. It's crazy. And once again, we have the scout in water. Let's see if we can get anything done.
Well, this is very early popping coming out from Juxta. I'm not sure if I even like this beta. Sure, it kind of gets things down. They can take the fight a bit with them, but then their mission as an Uber aggression is accomplished. You know, they popped off the enemy Uber. They can just back out. I think they can milk this more.
Yeah, probably. To be fair, right now, Yak's team haven't been able to actually push off of these small advantages. Scout again
point
in
pressure.
the water. Uber takes down Ron's. That's really nice. But yeah, it's not gonna. Soldier also jumps in. Second soldier. Looks like he went for the medic. Jock's just gonna survive that one. Unless Joseph hits a godly pipe now on the medic, Jock's is gonna be just fine.
They could make potentially a push out of this. The respawners are a bit unfaithful for them. Eames is down. Oh no, with Azuna's dying in lobby there, they're definitely not going to push. Actually, you know who is going to push? Captain Push himself, Yak and his boys. They're going straight in. It doesn't matter how many players are up or down or how many defenses they are. They're just going to keep pushing in. They popped off the Uber that's eventually come out for Juxta, and they're just trying to get this place on lockdown. Joseph is left behind in base in enemy lines. Loopy is trying to pressure the point. A bit desperation, but it does turn the eyes. And another soldier has entered the fray onto this point as well. I don't know where their S keys are, Beta, but they need to find them.
Yeah, looks like they finally figured out where on the keyboard it is located. And they are going to slowly back out. Not much, you can see they don't like it. But they are going to actually go outside and just take a breather, clean fresh air before they move back into the cave here. Into the den of Ora Elektro.
So they have a spy, and I know just by the logic alone that they're going to get this Uber. Even though they have a spy ready to go in, they're probably going to push with Uber. I don't think they're even in the mumble right now. Yeah, look, they're just going straight in. There's no time to waste. They've got a hot date tonight. They need to get going round now. Where's the spy during all this? He got a backstab on Eames. That's pretty good. Okay, well, but an Uber charge is still holding that last point. I mean, it is one Demoman-less point, but you can't defeat it, even with the backstabbing icicle.
Baiting the scout in. You can see Nuthouse just waiting around the corner, waiting to just spring the trap. Looks like Nevo's not going to fall for it. Unfortunate for us. Good for him. As we actually have a pretty sizable advantage here in Juxta, not something you would normally push off of on Gollywash. And it's about 30 seconds until the round gets reset here. And
a crit streak, there's a crit streak now, and but they're not going to have that built for a long time. They're pushing water with it, even though they've got a crit streak. What is going on in the board meeting of Five Fingers? It seems like the boss there is just going, I love it, yes, do that, everything, to every single idea that is entering that poor team's head. Yeah,
we've got 5 seconds left. It's just going down. They did say very early on that we like our champions on mid. That's what they they said on Yak's team. So we're just going to have a stalemate here. So now it's 5 minutes and a half remaining in this round and or in this game. And we're about to start a new round here. Another mid fight. We all love mid fight, right? So let's get that one. Last time around, Ora Elektro lost the scout immediately and then the soldiers were ineffectual. Let's see if they can mix that up.
There was so much back and forth there. I just assumed a point had been exchanged, but I'll trust the game. They're holding on their flank side. They have to deal with the drop-down play coming out from Azunas, and Azunas has not only cut off an exit, but he's laying out a lot of damage, takes out the medic as well, and he calls it a day. He's already backing out, getting health, and popping the champagne back on the second point of blue team. So
Eskimo ended up in the drop-down. They should know there's an Ora Elektro. Loopy's also in. I think he was just trying to, I don't know, distract for his soldier, but Eskimo was just so weak. And he fell down the drop down. He won a scout duel in his own choke, but then when he shot the rocket onto the scout, he got pushed into the drop down. He was kind of just stuck down there. They just waddled awkwardly into mid, and now he's just so far behind. He's going to struggle to even get in the fight in time.
Well, Eskimo is behind, and nobody's really challenging him, because what is a threat of a soldier like this at this point of the game? Like, he's not really doing too much. Even if he tries to cap, they can just send one measly scout back and he'll have the upper hand immediately. So they just decide to ignore him. They're setting up for last, ready to push in. They have got the tools to push in, but they're not pushing in yet. There we go. Okay, now we're going in now. Uber's popped, sending stickies on point. They spot Joseph. Oh, and they will get their Uber off, but they've lost so many players, including their man behind. They've got a Ubered heavy weapons guy, but they can just kite him around. Loopy, a lot is on his shoulders to deal with this. They lose their medic as well, so he's going to have to do this with the finite HP, and he can't do it on his own. They will manage to get this round.
Yeah, that's the thing with heavies. They're really bad at chasing down players, so Ora Elektro, they did a good job just scattering right here. Just making sure not to get too close to that heavy, making sure all his angles were awkward. They lost, I think, Amrock to him, and that was about it. So a really nice push in there from Ora Elektro. Even though they kind of missed the Uber advantage window, they still managed to do enough with the Uber in this tiny window that they had before Jorge got his own.
3 minutes left. They can still do this over on Five Fingers, but it's going to have to be one hell of a mid, and I know they had high hopes for their mids. It starts off well. They deal with the drop-down player that gave them so much headache than before. Ora Elektro are backing out!
Oh, Eames calls coming in!
Oh, these are Eames calls. Don't go to mid, team. Don't go to mid. He's actually trying to rotate around Big Door because he already sees that the game plan is to cut them off from the Big Door area, and they have done that, but they kind of cut each other off. Eskimo's jumping in. He gets the pick onto the medic, and things are collapsing for poor Ora Elektro here. They've got a few highwaymen on the second point. They're trying to actually prioritize Jorge's life and just kind of slow push it in, play off the healing advantage, and Soldier jumps in. It's a scout though, and scouts are beastly in this game. Look at him, pistoling whipping all of Ora.
Yeah, when there's no medic to heal them up, just any chip damage is just good damage. So you just eventually you do that. You very often see this when you have a medic and some classes alive and the enemy team has the same amount of people alive. You just kind of want to retreat because they have more combat class than you. But they're going to use this Uber advantage going in here.
Oh my god, an actual advantage, not a pseudo advantage. They've spotted Eames as well. He knows he's behind the point. They just need to send a few players behind, but Rons has actually rotated around to flank the flank. Next level play. And Joseph just stays in too long, not enough Uber charge to keep him alive, and I guess that just keeping everybody in water worked out for Ora Elektro there.
Yeah, just having a soldier down there to actually protect Eames was so big. We have Nothouse in water still, by the way, so he might go for some sort of hero play.
He's been spotted. Bronze is like, hey, wait a minute, you're not red, and makes him red. He is down. Their sort of kind of gimmick play is going to make it a bit difficult. They're pushing second already, and Bronze, he can't do enough. He's already cut off poor T-Ram at the choke, and Joseph, he's seeing his world crumble around him, even though he had the advantages there. No wonder if this man likes disadvantages. The advantages hurt so bad.
Oh, never mind that one. Advantage gone as this sticky trap's going to take down Juxta just right around the pillar there. Just the classic sticky trap. Looks like they're waiting for Uber to come in here and block this point. They will manage to get the block, and that's huge. That means they can just use all of this momentum to clean up and get on to second as well. There's still a scout lurking around here. That's Nevo. He's fighting Nuthouse, but if he like slinks onto the point and caps it, that's really bad here.
Oh, they've spotted him now. Nuthouse cleans him up, and the kind of delta scatter there, delta split. It worked in the sense that they didn't take the full onslaught of that Uber, but they can't really do much with it.
Yeah, alright, we're about to see a dry push coming in here. There's about 30 seconds remaining, and no Ubers are going to happen before that, really. You could maybe build it on Jorge, but I don't think they're going to wait for it. They're just going to see if they can power in here, but runs, and as soon as they realize that's coming, so they just spam the choke out. And now it's 17 seconds. They need to go. They can't wait.
Oh my god, Ron's just putting in the work, being Mr. Defense, holding every door, taking lives. They popped in an Uber, but Nuthouse can't even get in because everything's just pushing him away. Pyro, Sentry Gun, Soldier, and it will be a 3-2 scoreline for Ora Elektro.
Yeah, not very clean. Kind of very barely managed to scrape through that win there. You know, it's the first game of the day and it's way earlier than gamers are comfortable with. They probably all just woke up. So maybe not put too much stock in it, but yeah, I'm very impressed with Yak's team there. They played really well. They took a Prem team to the very end and did a good job.
Going to give a quick sort of prayer and thank you to our sponsors, GGtoor, a big sort of shout out to Phoenix Red, a big shout out obviously to Beta for joining me on this co-cast. I have been TurboTabs. With me has been Rahmed on the observing, and Wiethoofd was also doing all the production in the background. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back for another speed run of our invite group. See you soon.
Hi, old Beaver, away!